Over the last few weeks, Dash basically came back from the dead. It ripped back above the $100 level for the first time in almost 4 years, even printing spikes above $140 as the whole privacy coin sector went crazy, and the new Dash to anything upgrade helped trigger single-day moves of 30 to 40%. What's up, guys? Mooney here, and today you're listening to Money Talks. Quick refresher if you're new here, Dash is one of the OG crypto projects. It's built around fast, cheap payments with optional privacy through a masternode network. Supply is capped at 18.9 million coins, so it's designed to be actual scarce digital cash. Based on the combined analysis I pulled out of ChatGPT Pro, the next 30 days lean slightly bullish, but not in a guaranteed moon mission kind of way. The model shows a decent bullish bias, but there's still real room for a sideways chop or a deep correction if the hype fades. In this video, I'll walk you through why, the key levels, and 3 concrete scenarios so you can think for yourself instead of just following the loudest tweet. Let's start with the charts. On the weekly time frame, the bigger trend is up. Moving averages are pointing higher, and price is still holding above a major support zone after that brutal breakout, which basically confirms this as a comeback move after a long downtrend. Zoom into the daily, though, and the story shifts. We're clearly in a pullback phase after an insane pump. Price is trading below the middle of the Bollinger Band, which is classic cooling-off behavior. In plain English, weekly says the trend is alive, daily says chill, we're catching our breath. That tension between timeframes is exactly what shapes the 30-day outlook. On-chain and sentiment very quick. Public data shows Dash volume exploding over the past few weeks, futures open interest spiking, and even moments of deeply negative funding where everyone piled into shorts, setting up huge short squeeze potential. At the same time, news headlines about privacy coin comeback, re-entering the top 100 and $100 to $130 targets have been everywhere. Fundamentally, Dash is still a capped supply POS chain focused on payments and privacy. The team that's been shipping upgrades like Dash to anything and pushing Dash Platform and Dash Pay, plus fresh listings on several exchanges, including in Indonesia, which adds new liquidity and access. That's why a lot of analysts are framing Dash as one of this year's privacy coin comeback stories. Now, the ugly side. This latest move was parabolic, and parabolic moves often unwind with 30 to 40% drawdowns. Privacy coins also live under constant regulatory risk. One bad headline can flip sentiment overnight. Highly leveraged derivatives can trigger sudden long or short squeezes in both directions. And to be transparent, some of the detailed Dash-specific on-chain data isn't fully visible on public dashboards, so I treat that part as low confidence instead of using it as an excuse to be over-bullish. All right, here's the 30-day price map according to the combined model from ChatGPT Pro. For the next 30 days, the bullish scenario sits around 55% probability. In that path, Dash has room to climb roughly plus 35 to 40% from here, targeting somewhere in the US dollar 105 to 110 zone before running into serious resistance. The sideways scenario is about 25%. Price just chops in a wide range between roughly US dollar 70 and 90. Lots of noise, no decisive breakout, basically digestion after a massive rally. The bearish scenario is around 20%. If key support in the US dollar 62 to 65 area gives way and the weekly trend cracks, price could dump toward roughly US dollar 47 to 50, which is about minus 35 to 40% from here. Overall, I'd put the confidence level at 3 out of 5. That means the data is fairly solid and consistent across technicals, sentiment, and fundamentals, but not strong enough to pretend this is some kind of crystal ball prediction. Treat it as a probability map, not a guarantee. So what do you do with this? Honestly, this is not a buy or sell call. This is me using ChatGPT Pro as an overpowered research assistant so you have a clearer mental framework before you risk your own money. End of the day, it's your capital and your risk, so make sure every buy or sell comes from your own thinking, not just my voice, and definitely not just the hype. If this breakdown makes sense to you, drop a comment. Are you team bullish Dash, waiting for a deeper dip, or just ignoring this and rotating into something else? Hit like if you want YouTube to push more no BS breakdowns like this. Subscribe to Money Talks if you enjoy seeing AI-powered crypto analysis without the cult vibes, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown on whatever coin the timeline is obsessed with next.